On the street in the early morning, the sunlight of the new day radiates vitality. Since it's early, the traffic is sparse. A beautiful girl with light purple hair sits in a car scrolling through information on her phone. On Monday, the hot search is featuring the headline that Ta Dieu and the Korean movie emperor were photographed together in a hotel all night without returning. Below, there are many comments cursing her as a manipulative vixen, shameless and without dignity. She sighed deeply, tired of talking, since every time it's the same hot news. Can't we switch to fresher topics? She typed something and hit the post button. Then Ta Dieu uploaded a photo of herself with her middle finger up along with the caption, "Some people only know how to curse me. Do you know how good I am in bed?" Below, she cleverly added, "I can lie in bed without eating or drinking for a day." The post quickly attracted a lot of attention from people. Ms. Lam, the manager sitting in front, reminded her, "All right, don't pay attention to this comment. For traffic, unscrupulous reporters can post clickbait articles. You should go to the hospital for a health checkup first. I will take care of this." Ta Dieu also listened to her manager. "Yes, I won't read anymore." In her mind, she thought after all, they are just anti-fans. They can't be considered rivals. At People's Hospital City, Ms. Lam completed the procedures for her to go straight to the consultation room on the 3rd floor. Ta Dieu's footsteps moved swiftly through the hospital. She wore glasses, a hat, and a tightly fitted mask, her body dressed in casual clothes. The consultation room called the next person. The voice was that of a man, yet Ta Dieu thought it should be a female doctor. Could it be that she heard wrong? Ta Dieu reached out to touch the doorknob and opened it. Stepping inside, she saw a male doctor in a mask reviewing the medical records. At the moment they faced each other, Ta Dieu was like someone who lost their soul, standing in a daze as she recognized this doctor. The male doctor thoughtfully asked, "What is your name?" Ta Dieu stepped in, stammering, and replied, Ta Dieu." At this moment, her mind was racing. Could it really be him? Why does she feel so familiar? Tishniam Than is indeed her high school crush. Ta Dieu at this moment was also stunned, looking up at her when she heard the familiar name, Tishniam Than. Shortly after he asked her what was wrong, Ta Dieu honestly pointed to her chest and explained that she wasn't feeling well here, touching the hard lump. She suddenly remembered hearing that after graduating from Bakshai, he went to study abroad, so this person might not be him. The doctor requested to check a bit, then stood up, asking her to follow him to lie down for a moment. Ta Dieu quickly, obediently complied, responding yes. The doctor behind the curtain coldly said to take off her top. At this moment, Ta Dieu seemed frozen, petrified upon hearing that she had to take off her bra. What's wrong? But since she was there for a checkup, she obediently complied. She reached inside and took off her bra. Her face flushed with shyness, her whole body feeling hot, unsure of what to do next. Could it be that he would touch her chest himself? With those long, clean hands of his. Just thinking about this, she could only blame herself for having such random thoughts. The doctor behind the curtain asked her to lift her shirt, then used a specialized medical device to examine Ta Dieu's chest. Yet she thought it was his finger. Ta Dieu closed her eyes tightly because she found this experience too stimulating. Her breathing was not steady at all. Her face was confused and panicked in this awkward situation. The doctor seemed to sense the tension from patient Ta Dieu and quickly said there was no need to hold her breath, just breathe normally. Hearing this, Ta Dieu sighed in relief and relaxed her body. After the examination, the doctor turned away, asking her to clean herself, then tossed her a paper towel. Ta Dieu thought this doctor resembled a guy who finished his work, put on his pants, and left. Ta Dieu stood and looked at the doctor's computer screen while listening to his instructions. Her condition was related to a lack of pain sensation. The fiber glands were normal, the test results were negative, and no other changes were detected. This result made Ta Dieu happy, and she hurriedly thanked the doctor. The doctor continued to advise her that the tumor wouldn't just appear like that. She needed to balance work and rest, pay attention to nutrition and meals, and avoid using supplements containing hormones. Additionally, her weight was below standard because she was too thin. Yes, Ta Dieu listened seriously and wore a mask. Yes, I understand the situation now. What is your name? Can you give me a contact number for easier communication? The doctor was writing up the medical record when he suddenly paused, took off his mask, and said to Ta Dieu, "Did you forget that you wrote 120 love letters to someone in high school?" Facing the doctor who had removed his mask, Ta Dieu's eyes widened in disbelief. She suddenly became petrified, speechless, unable to believe that he was Tich Neem Than, her old crush from high school. After returning from the clinic, she felt dazed, not expecting Tich Neem Than to still remember her. But what was with those 120 love letters? How humiliating. Manager Lam saw Tadieu acting like a soulless person and asked, "What are you doing? If you keep banging your head against the wall like that, you'll make a hole." Manager Lam guessed that the doctor had done something to her while in the room. Tadieu quickly denied it. Just then, a male figure entered and she explained to Ms. Lam, "Oh my God, how could that be? It's just that I was recognized. Let me tell you that doctor is a fan of mine." Tadieu boasted without shame, completely unaware that Tich Niem Tan was standing right behind her. "Although he is handsome, I was too shy to ask for his phone number. It's true I love him, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to call him darling. I need him to teach me mouth to mouth." After these excuses, the truth is that Tadieu asked for his phone number, but he didn't have one. While she was talking nonstop, suddenly there was a cough from behind that made her freeze. She immediately recognized the familiar voice of Tich Niem Tan. Can't believe it, he is also in the elevator. Tich Niem Tan was so shocked that he couldn't say anything and leaned against Manager Lam. The manager encouraged her. "If that's the case, go ask for his phone number. After all, he is a fan of yours." The elevator started moving and reached the first floor. The scene now made Tadieu want to disappear to avoid embarrassment. As soon as the elevator opened, she immediately rushed out like crazy. Manager Lam didn't understand why she was in such a hurry, only Tadieu remained calm in the elevator, watching her figure. His gaze was suddenly drawn to something. Looking down there was a memory card that had fallen under the elevator door. The manager and Tadieu were sitting in the car returning from the hospital. The manager asked, "Why did you run so fast just now? Anyone who didn't know would think you were being chased by a ghost." Tadieu, embarrassed, didn't dare to look directly at Manager Lam to answer, "Because I have to fly to that city soon, I was just afraid of missing the flight." Tadieu sat in the car looking out the window at the streets, then turned back to check her phone. It turns out she was looking for information about him at the hospital. Unexpectedly, he is still doing well, still following the path he wants to go, and has reached a level that is hard for ordinary people to keep up with. Tich Niem Tan is 29 years old, a surgeon, a doctor of medicine, currently a doctor at the People's Hospital. Reading this, she suddenly realized something was wrong. If he is a surgeon, why is he examining patients in the breast department? Tich Niem Tan is currently a chief surgeon at the People's Hospital, graduated from a prestigious university, and once studied at a medical institute in the United States. His working appearance is also very handsome, making someone infatuated. Manager Lam turned to ask her, "What are you doing that you're drooling?" "Bye," the manager reminded her. "What are you looking at?" "Look at how you are a beautiful girl staring at her phone screen and grinning like that. Is it appropriate?" Tada wiped her hand and replied, "There's no drool at all." Manager Lam remembered something important, then asked her, "Right, since we have time in the car now, quickly copy the new script from the USB to the computer so you can review it later on the plane." While looking for the USB in her bag, she found it was missing. Manager Lam also searched for it. It couldn't be lost before the performance started as it contained confidential information. Oh no, it's really lost. She was careless when leaving the door, so she must have lost it somewhere. The manager will also find a way to solve her issue. Just prepare to attend the seminar the day after tomorrow. Tada recalls the moment she hurried in the elevator. She might have dropped it there. 2 hours later, Tadu's plane landed as night fell at Ho Huang Mat, a large villa area. A luxury car pulled up and a delicate hand opened the door. Tadieu opened the door, took off her shoes, and stepped inside, still focused on her phone. Earlier, there was a missed call. This is a number from Kinjo that she doesn't recognize. Perhaps they called her by mistake. The dark night with a crescent moon peeking through the sky, Tadieu's long legs were comfortably enjoying the moment. Her face was slightly red from the hot steam in the bathtub, the pale body of the star Tadieu soaking in a tub full of white flowers, relaxing. Tadieu took the opportunity to apply a face mask to enjoy this feeling of relaxation when suddenly there was a notification sound from her phone. Opening the phone, there was a message from an unknown number. "You dropped something. It's with me. Come pick it up when you're free. I am Tich Niem Tan." This message was like a bolt from the blue, startling Tadieu, and even the mask cracked. She tried to take a deep breath, then immediately used her phone to call him. The person on the other end answered, "Hello, is this Tich Niem Tan? I am Tadieu." Just hearing his voice made her face turn as red as a tomato. They talked about the USB that Tadieu dropped and that Tich Niem Tan found it. Tich Niem Tan asked when she would have time to come pick it up, but Tadieu wanted to send a delivery person to get it. Because she couldn't go directly now, Tich Niem Tan sat in the car talking on the phone with her. It's okay, just send me the address. If there's nothing else, I'll hang up now. Just as Ta Dieu was speaking, she slipped on the bathroom floor. Her whole body lost balance and fell to the ground, making a thud. The phone also fell out. Thich Nam Thon asked if she had fallen. Ta Dieu, in pain with tears welling in her eyes, said, "This damn floor. I just finished showering, and when I stepped out, I fell. It hurts so much." Thich Nam Thon was a bit worried. "Where did you fall? Do you need me to help you call an ambulance?" Ta Dieu shyly replied, "No need, I just fell on my butt. Oh no, I fell on my hip." The other end of the phone went silent after hearing that. She really didn't understand what this moment of silence was about, having experienced it multiple times in one day. Thich Nam Thon guided her. "Try to stand up slowly and see if your body can move." Ta Dieu politely replied, "I'm standing up now. It's nothing to worry about, just like that." "Dr. Thich, thank you. I'm hanging up now." She felt embarrassed with herself. Just talking on the phone made her feel shy in front of him. Tomorrow night, she still has to attend a film press conference. In this state, she doesn't know what else she can wear. Her elbow fell earlier and got bruised. A message from Thich Nam Thon appeared, reminding her to send him the address to send the USB, and also reminding her to apply some medicine. Tomorrow, go to the hospital for a CT scan, and if she doesn't feel well, she can call him anytime. Reading Thich Nam Thon's messages made her feel like he cared about her, but she quickly dismissed that thought. She must be overthinking. He is a doctor and she is a patient. It's normal for him to worry about her. The next morning at Ta Dieu's private villa, the girl who took care of Ta Dieu's meals brought breakfast. At this time, Ta Dieu was yawning and coming down the stairs in a light pink pajamas. The girl Kia quickly asked her boss if she had seen today's news. There was a truck driver who had an accident and got hit by a metal pipe. It was very terrible. Ta Dieu sat down at the table and asked seriously, "What happened? How is the person now? Can they be saved?" The girl Kia was setting the food for Ta Dieu while saying that the situation was still unclear but seemed very critical. The metal pipe was both thick and long. The girl quickly noticed the injury on Ta Dieu's arm and worriedly asked, "Wait, what happened to you? You need to go to the hospital." Ta Dieu brushed it off, saying, "By the time I get to the hospital, it will heal by itself." She couldn't believe it. Before, her boss had said she wanted to be a delicate and fragile star. But how could a star be this fragile? The phone rang. The caller on the other end was Manager Lam. As soon as she answered, she heard someone shouting, "Damn it, is that jerk Han Lapthon doing this on purpose? How dare he say such things online?" Ta Dieu didn't understand what was happening, so Sister Lam told her to check the information online. Ta Dieu opened her phone and saw the explanation post from the movie star Han Lapthon. It was true that she described it in a way that easily made people get lost in thought, but they were just normal friends who unexpectedly met at a hotel and were photographed. Everyone don't misunderstand anymore. Indeed didn't. That jerk's words only make others misunderstand even more. Ta Dieu calmly typed a comment. "What are you lost in? Do I look like a prostitute?" The assistant girl quickly ran over to her. "Boss, what are you doing? Why is she trending again?" Ta Dieu is still focused, typing on her phone, and her typing speed is indeed impressive. From the negative comments to the hotel, another person replied, "Why are you cursing at people like that? Is the quality of a third-tier celebrity really that low?" Other comments began to appear. They thought that a woman like Ta Dieu was truly malicious, laughing like a pig squealing. Truly the peak of insulting someone. Ta Dieu confidently grasped the situation and rejected the online violence trending on Weibo. Besides information about her, there was also information about the People's Hospital of Jingdu City. Ta Dieu paused for a moment. "Isn't this the hospital where Thich Nam Thon works?" She suddenly compared the two of them. How could they be so different? Surely a busy person like him wouldn't see the negative trending news about her on Weibo. At the People's Hospital, the surgery had just concluded after a long operation. The patient's family thanked the doctor profusely, while Thich Nam Thon tiredly removed his glasses. At this moment, he finally took off his mask, his face drenched in sweat. The deputy head of the department approached Thich Nam Thon and said, "You've worked hard. Additionally, there is something I need to inform you about. The city of Tham is about to hold an international medical conference, and your 2 papers from the press conference have won awards, so they invited you to speak." The deputy head of the department rubbed Thich Nam Thon's shoulder to comfort him. "I'm informing you a bit late, it's a bit sudden. Now you should quickly go home to pack a bit, then depart at 6 p.m. tonight. Teach Nim Than looked at the medical records and thought for a moment. He would also go to the city of Tham. She is there too. If I call a delivery person now, it would be too late. In the evening sky at Tham City Airport, planes announced their landing to say goodbye to passengers. Teach Nim Than arrived in the city of Tham that evening. Colleagues in the hospital sent him a message. Lone Teach, hurry and check your trending. This afternoon, reporters also came to interview at the hospital. Unfortunately, the lead surgeon is not available, so the assistant surgeon and the hospital director went to handle the interview. Thich Nim Than thought it was all the same who went. He saves lives and doesn't care about these matters. Thich Nim Than also noticed Tadieu's name appeared on the trending list. He paid a little attention, then displayed a puzzled expression and said nothing more. No one knew what he was thinking. At the luxurious film press conference with a large crowd, many fans and reporters appeared. Celebrities and idols gradually appeared and entered the press conference. A luxury car stopped in front of the press conference, all cameras focused on it. No one knew who appeared with such an imposing presence. Everyone was also attracted by this person's arrival. The security quickly opened the car door. Stepping out was a pair of legs in sparkling high-heeled shoes. Walking down the red carpet, Tadieu appeared in a dazzling purple sequined gown that showcased every curve of her body. Everyone cheered for her beauty. Cameras continuously captured Tadieu's moments. The beauty of this star cannot be denied. Her appearance made everyone look up. Cameras clicked away. Tadieu posed for photos while signing the press conference board. And Kai stood nearby, showing signs of jealousy. Clearly just a supporting actress in the film, the outfit she wore today was something even Kai did not have the privilege to order. So what is Tadieu's background? A chaotic reporter interviews Tadieu. Sister, to recently rumors about you and the Korean film star have been spreading online. May I ask what you think about this? You really aren't interfering in the marriage of the Korean film star, are you? And Kai saw Tadieu being surrounded by reporters and thought to herself, smirking, "Stupid, who told you to wear such shiny clothes just at the right time to cover up your fire?" From then on, Tadieu glanced over to see her with this intention, wanting to see her joke dream on. Under the barrage of questions about Tadieu's private life from reporters, she just gently brushed her hair and replied, "Huh? You say this gown I'm wearing is very beautiful, thank you." The reporter also ran out of words and repeated, "I'm not talking about your issues with the Korean film star." Tadieu wouldn't back down, showcasing her performance skills. "Do you think this dress of mine isn't beautiful?" The reporter wanted to speak, but was cut off by her, "This is a custom-made gown. Whether it's beautiful or not, only those in the industry would know. Whether it's good or not depends on one's skill." Then Tadieu spoke while glancing at Kai, making her furious. Late at night in the city of Shen, even though it was very late, the lights were still on. Tadieu tiredly changed her clothes and headed into the guests' resting area. Finally, it had come to an end. "I'm exhausted." Her eyes lit up when she spotted someone. It was Han Lap-Than, the famous film star currently involved in a scandal. He was leaning against the wall smoking. She didn't understand why he was here. Tadieu wanted to ignore him in case he started spreading nonsense online. A greasy man like him is better not to get entangled with too much. She directly walked past him, but he raised his hand to block her. Tadieu asked, annoyed, "What do you want?" Han Lap-Than turned to her and said, "Are you scared now? I'm standing here waiting for you." Who would have thought we would have such a fate to meet a big star here? Tadieu didn't want to engage with him, just replied casually, "Oh, and then what? Can I go now?" He deliberately blocked her. "What if I say no?" She looked at him with disdain and shot back, "A good dog doesn't block the way." Han Lap-Than bent down and reached out to touch her face. Even cursing at people, does she have such charm? "Do you want to play the female lead in the next work?" Nero. Just as he had intentions tonight, Tadieu reflexively grabbed his hand and then directly threw him to the ground. She looked at him with contempt and replied, "Can't you hear what I'm saying?" I already said a good dog doesn't block the way." He seemed to only know that Sister Ta was a famous star, but didn't know she had practiced martial arts since childhood and was a red belt competitor. Then Tadieu turned away smoothly and instructed him, "Film star Han, you don't need to worry about my affairs because we don't get along very well." He angrily said, "Tadieu, just wait for me." His threatening words made Tadieu, who was walking away, suddenly stop. She thinks, "Who are you pretending to be noble? I know who your boss Kim is." He thinks he has successfully scared her and continues, I have hot news from a friend. A year ago, she and a 70-year-old man were caught entering a hotel abroad. As long as there's money, what wouldn't she dare to do? Tadieu turned back and teased him with a smile. That's right. Even if he is 70 years old, he is still my baby. And you wouldn't even be worthy of carrying his slippers if she poured a bucket of cold water on you. He was so angry he couldn't speak. And Kai then appeared and he quickly pretended to be the victim. What are you two doing? Han Lap Tan saw Kai appear, suppressed his pain, and slowly stood up acting like a victim while scolding her. I didn't expect you to be someone like this, wanting to be the lead actress and seduce me. And Kai and a few others who heard this were surprised. Is that really true? He continued to lie, saying that Ta-du liked him and wanted to be by his side. When he disagreed, she grabbed his clothes. This woman is crazy for fame. Ta-du was so furious, she choked on her anger and scolded him. You really are a top-notch actor. And Kai, who originally didn't like her, took this opportunity to question her. Ta-du, how could you act like that towards Mr. Han? If you want to be famous, you should rely on your own abilities. Why seduce the movie star? She turned to scold the girl. Shut up, it's obvious he was harassing me. How can you believe everything he says? I also know a doctor. Not bad, how about I introduce you for an eye exam? And Kai and everyone there thought that the movie star Han was a senior and wouldn't lie. Senior? What does that matter? Just because he is a movie star, does that mean everything he says is trustworthy? People seem to believe him instead of her. In the end, she understood. Even if they know the truth, these people only help that jerk. Who said he is a movie star? He is just kowtow at the top. Tata stood still, her hands clenched in frustration, but one day she believes they will pay for this. The door beside the hallway suddenly opened, and a tall, extremely handsome man walked in. Tata quickly recognized that this was Tich Niem Than. Tich Niem Than entered wearing a white shirt, coldly looking at that movie star and said, You are lying. Tich Niem Than explained that since no one answered when he called Tadieu, he had to come in here to find her. The people behind him were completely ignored by him. He directly bypassed them. Tadieu couldn't believe Tich Niem Than's appearance here right now. Tich Niem Than walked over to Han Lap Tan and analyzed the situation. His right wrist was injured and the elbow joint was dislocated. From the outside, it looked like she had acted in self-defense. He angrily shouted, Who are you? Why are you standing here talking nonsense? Ta-du stood up in front to shield Tich Niem Than, mindful of her words, because he was her boyfriend. Han Ningdai was angry. What did you say, is he your boyfriend? Ta-yu lightly taunted him. What's wrong? I'm speaking human language. Can't you understand? Ji Nanqing stepped forward, looked at him, and said, As a doctor, I suggest you go to the hospital soon for a full checkup. Although Mr. Han here was the one who caused trouble, first my girlfriend's response was a bit too strong, so we will cover the medical fees. While speaking, he turned to look at Ta-yu with a tender gaze. She blushed all over, not expecting him to say that cooperating with her so well. Afterwards, he even took the initiative to hold her hand as if they were really in love. Ji Nanqing affectionately looked at her. Let's go. Not forgetting to remind that Han Di also. Mr. Han, please have some self-respect. Do not harass her anymore. Han Lap Cheng was now facing the questioning gaze of those around him. He wanted to explain, but couldn't. The night on the road was quiet with just a few scattered lights. Ji Nanqing held her hand, leading her outside without any intention of letting go. Ta-ju shyly looked down at their intertwined hands, which looked very affectionate. Both of them wanted to say something at the same time. In this situation, Ta-ju let him speak first. Ji Nanqing shyly apologized to her. She also bashfully turned away. Actually, she should be the one apologizing here. Today, she was lucky to have Ji Nanqing. She didn't know how to thank him. Ji Nanqing considered this a simple matter and only helped out. Ta-yu, feeling awkward, rubbed her hands together behind her back, recalling how she accidentally said Ji Nanqing was her boyfriend. She hoped Ji Nanqing wouldn't take it to heart. She only said that because she was afraid that the despicable guy would come to bother her. Ji Nanqing coldly replied, I know. He suddenly remembered that the main point was to return the USB to her. Ta-yu wondered why he knew she was at the film hall. After all, he couldn't have come here just for that USB. Ji Nanqing explained that there was a medical seminar in the city of Shen, so he came here to participate, and happened to pass by. He contacted Ta-yu's assistant. Afterwards, he mentioned her 70-year-old old man, which left Ta-yu frozen on the spot. She didn't want to be misunderstood, so she explained, No, he's not a doctor. She misunderstood. Actually, that old man of 70. Before she could finish, Ji Nianqing interrupted. It's okay, that's all personal business of yours. You don't need to explain it to me. Ta Yu also knew that Ji Nianqing was different from those others. He wouldn't listen to what others said. Suddenly, her phone notification rang. Ji Nianqing thought she was busy, so he wanted to leave first. If you have something to do, I won't disturb you anymore. Ta Yu explained, No, just now it was the assistant who sent a message saying the car broke down, so I have to go fix it, telling me to handle my own transportation. But in reality, the content of the message was the opposite. She wants to go back by herself, having instructed the assistant to leave first. Ta Du suggested to him to walk together for a while as they rarely meet in this city and want to go to the beach to enjoy the breeze. Tich Niem Than turned to her coldly and said, The wind blowing at night is not sea breeze, it's continental wind. Ta Du was at a loss for words. Do you really have to be so straightforward? The red thread of fate from the old man of the moon is about to be broken by you. At the beach, the waves lapped at the shore in small bursts, creating white frothy bubbles. She began to ask him, Dr. Tich, you are so handsome at your age, you must have gotten married early, right? Tich Niem Than replied, I am still not married. For me, these things are still too early. Ta Du asked back with some excitement, After so many years, you still don't have a girlfriend. Tich Niem Than also honestly replied, There was someone in the past who arranged a blind date for me, but I was too busy, so I've been lonely until now. It is indeed tough for doctors. Many times, no matter where they are, if there's a phone call, they have to return immediately. Ta Du said while kicking a few pebbles on the beach. She still remembered when their hospital was trending, saying that a driver was hit by a metal tube and was saved by Tich Niem Than's hospital. The sea breeze blew, causing Tich Niem Than's hair to flutter with the wind, highlighting his handsome features. Tato felt that in such a critical situation, she didn't know which doctor had saved a whole family. In response to her words, Tich Niem Than could only say, This is what we should do. Everyone gives their all. Ta Du laughed and pointed at him, saying, Look at you saying it as if you were the one performing the surgery. The greatest credit must go to the chief doctor. Tich Niem Than was also at a loss for words with her. He simply smiled gently, and that smile made the girl feel unsteady. Tato had always been serious, yet when she smiled, she looked so handsome. Speaking of which, that day she also made the front page. She hurried to explain to him that it was fake news not to believe it. Tich Niem Than did not watch news online. If it's fake, there's no need to explain nor care about others' opinions. Indeed, she didn't care about others' opinions, but she cared about Tich Niem Than's opinion. Tato began to show a pitiful expression, checking to see if he felt sorry for her. It's my fault for talking about these things with you. The entertainment industry is too vast. I was bullied today. Tich Niem Than looked at her state and handed her some tissues to wipe her tears. Ta Du acted out. Ta Du, Lam Jai, Ngok, reincarnated taking the path of green tea, leaving no path for green tea to walk. Just as she was in a mess, there was a clanging sound. Get out of the way. A second later, Ta Du fell to the ground. When she opened her eyes to see what was happening, she found herself lip to lip with Tich Niem Than. She hurriedly stood up, not expecting that the two of them had kissed. So what the two people on bicycles earlier only dodged one bike. Is it necessary to show off like that? Are you filming an idol drama or something? Ta Du quickly stood up, her whole body stiff. Tich Niem Than also apologized to her. Reflexively, Ta Du stepped back shyly, then turned and ran away like she was being chased at the speed of light. Tich Niem Than was worried. Could it be that she was crying? Suddenly, he heard the sound of a camera coming from somewhere. Tich Niem Than quickly and keenly noticed there was a camera taking pictures of her from a distance. After running back quickly to her own villa, she jumped onto the bed, grabbed a blanket, and covered herself. She recalled the moment earlier when she and Tich Niem Than had kissed. Remembering her high school days, the male god Tich Niem Than seemed unattainable. The academic star, Tich Niem Than, won big awards every day, always loved by everyone, was her old crush. Earlier, they had really kissed. Ta Du lay on the bed, imagining and recalling that moment, then suddenly shouted, Hey, we really kissed, this isn't a dream. Ta Du's face turned bright red like a ripe tomato. She thought and laughed, then spoke to herself, Ha ha ha. I'm sorry, Tich Niem Than, a cold and proud flower like you has been kissed by me. She opened her phone to see if she should add him as a friend. Looking at his profile picture, she didn't dare to hit the button to send a friend request, better to wait a bit longer. Early the next morning outside the villa, birds were chirping cheerfully. Tadu's phone, placed face up on the treadmill, received a call. Today she woke up early, taking time to jog to maintain her figure. Tado looked at her phone and saw that the caller was her grandfather, so she immediately pressed the answer button without hesitation. Her grandfather, dressed in noble attire with a cigar in hand, asked, "My dear granddaughter, you've been trending a lot lately, haven't you? What's going on? Have you been bullied?" Tadu didn't understand why he was dressed so lavishly. He didn't look like an old man. Age couldn't be avoided. People thought he was a financial backer in the entertainment industry. For Tadu to answer honestly, her grandfather wasn't that kind of person, just a married man who liked to create scandals with his granddaughter. She wanted her grandfather to spread rumors about him. She didn't want to see him anymore. Originally, her family didn't agree for her to work in the entertainment industry, and now being harassed, she thought it was best not to tell her grandfather about Han Lapthan. Her grandfather suspiciously asked back, "Is it just because of this? Isn't there anything else you have to endure?" The confident grandchild flexed her muscles and said to her grandfather, "Of course, yes. I'm someone who knows martial arts. Anyone who wants to live wouldn't dare to lay a hand on me." After hearing this, her grandfather didn't ask any further. Such a small matter could be resolved with just a word from him. Grandpa still hopes that next time the girl will increase the difficulty a bit more. By the way, Grandpa also mentioned that she's not young anymore. When will she have a boyfriend by her side? Can't find a suitable person, huh? Hearing this, Tado suddenly thought of Teach Neem Than when Grandpa mentioned the right person. She didn't understand why the image of Teach Neem Than kept appearing in her mind. Noticing her shy expression, Grandpa asked further, "What are you thinking about? Could it be that you have a crush?" Tadu immediately denied it. "No way. Besides, even if I did, it's not certain that he would like me. Who would dare not respond to the girl that Grandpa loves? If she truly liked him, then even if she had to tie him up, he would still be brought back for her." Tado gently replied to Grandpa, "I'm not a leader of a band of robbers to snatch a wife to make her the lady of the camp. This matter must also consider the feelings from both sides." Grandpa began to change his tone. "Oh, wow. It really seems like you have a crush. What's the other person like? Where do they live? How many people are in their family? How old are they?" Tadieu couldn't believe Grandpa asked her a series of questions, starting with interrogative words, as if he was investigating demographics. But she also wanted to know the answers to the questions that Grandpa was asking. After that, Tadieu made an excuse that she was busy and hung up. Soon after, there was a message from Grandpa. She knew right away that Grandpa wouldn't easily let her off like that. Grandpa reminded her not to say unnecessary things and asked her to send a picture for him to see to check if he was worthy of his precious granddaughter. Tadieu sent a picture of Tik Niem Than for him to see. Seeing the doctor's outfit, Grandpa was very pleased and believed that Tich Niem Than must be quite good. He wanted his granddaughter to definitely win him over and even sent more stickers. She didn't know which little girlfriend taught him that it really left her speechless. Tadieu thought along the lines of what Grandpa said. Although meeting Tich Niem Than made her heart race because of him, she had never dared to think about being in a relationship. Should she try more? While jogging, the little assistant rushed in saying that her boss was causing trouble online again. The title of a post from an account named Jai320 went viral. The relationship between Tadieu and the Korean movie star has been confirmed, accompanied by a photo of a man kissing a woman taken through a blurry glass. Tadieu read the post and chuckled. Where did this monster come from to be so annoying? She immediately commented below, "If it's not me, then who else? What price can you endure?" The account claimed that she had spent the night with him in Kinjo. If not, then I'll live stream myself playing chess. Tadieu exuded a fierce aura. She had been waiting for this line from him for a long time. The assistant standing beside thought that if her boss became ruthless, it would indeed be a bit scary. Tadieu shared the post and the quote from that account on her personal page with the caption, "You all have seen this person's quote. I hope you definitely fulfill your promise." The doorbell rang, the curved glass bent, and the assistant ran outside to bring in drinks for her. Tadieu was sitting on the sofa scrolling through her phone. She had to admit the performance. Grandpa's stuff is really fast, and the transformation of this Han guy is quite big too. Jokingly, Tadieu was sipping water while checking information, and the assistant looked at her phone and showed it to her to see together. "Why does this Han guy keep dragging you down again?" He posted a message that read, "I am sorry to my wife, I am sorry to my fans. I admit that on that day, Tadieu and I met at the hotel. She proactively came to my room and knocked on the door. After coming in, she wanted to take it a step further, but in the end, I still maintained my boundaries. Due to personal issues, I have occupied public resources. I'm sorry, everyone. At this point, Tadieu finished reading and thought this guy must be crazy to disclose this himself. The assistant was panicking and pressed her phone wanting to contact Manager Lam immediately. Just then, Manager Lam appeared. No need, I just arrived at the right time. I saw it on the way here. Is that movie star going crazy? How dare he post such articles? Now I will contact his manager. Sister Lam scolded the movie star's manager. What kind of writing is this? Are you trying to drag my other artists down with you? There are cameras and witnesses everywhere in the hotel. Tadieu is always being watched. To slander others thoughtlessly like this, haven't you thought about the consequences? Could it be that Tadieu rejected him that day, so he got so angry that he went crazy and wanted to deal with her? But this way of doing things just won't do. Could it be to cover up something else? The assistant thought it could be that he wanted to cover up something else doing something unethical. Tadieu suggested to her that she could think bolder. Manager Lam hung up and turned to Tadieu. Could it be that he also, do you have evidence this matter can't be talked about carelessly? Lam winked at the manager. I have my ways. You believe that there is only one truth in this world. Sister Lam crossed her arms and looked at her. What could a third-rate actress like you do? If this continues, I see your opportunities and unfilmed scripts will all be canceled. Her heart ached because she was looked down on by her own people. In that case, she would firmly prove her strength to Sister Lam. In the bustling city at night, the lights from the skyscrapers were always bright along with large advertising billboards. She advertised a domestic perfume brand on that large billboard placed right in the center of the intersection, attracting all eyes. On the hospital's vehicle, the deputy department head saw and said, "Today's celebrities are really extravagant." Next to him, the doctor added, "That's right, I heard that a few days ago she enchanted a movie star at some hotel, and now it's exposed she's being scolded serves her right."